We already had 10 minutes of some early exclusive Pikmin 4 gameplay from the media previews and things. This one is really interesting. We're gonna see some stuff we haven't seen before. First off, there's gonna be co-op right here. Seen a little bit of that if you've looked at the Pikmin 4 websites and stuff, but here it is, man. Player 2's Pebble Pitcher controls. You throw the pebble with A, throw the item with Y. You can put away your items. I wish at some point you could maybe just turn your cursor off for a second. This would distract me, I feel like. Look at this person. But you notice actually if we go extremely slow right here, and this video does this sometimes, they jump around, and I think it's because there's certain things that they are under embargo. They can't show. Maybe I'm wrong here. I've also, I've had no sleep. When I slowed this part down, you can actually see, and it's in the background right here under options, the screen says hurry up, and of course if you've played Pikmin in the past, that means that you've got to wrap up your day because it's about to end, right? And you don't want your Pikmin to be left there at night to die. I'm sorry, people who are new, that's what happens. So we've seen the options, actually all these options in the video I just uploaded before this, so I will link that as well as the original footage that this what we're watching right now comes from. Here's the rewind time though. Once again, we can see a little bit more though. You can obviously scroll left and right. When using the left joystick, you can see that this person can rewind 6 minutes right there, and then it also said exiting cave. There weren't a lot of differences in this person's progress when you move from jump point to jump point, and that's okay. The only thing significant I would say is just that, well, they can even go 6 minutes back. Like if a day is 15 minutes, right? We've got that. We know time moves differently in the cave, but I guess I'm just saying that in the previous video I talked about how a lot of the media, the journalists were saying, yeah, Pikmin 4, it moves slow, move at your own pace. I know I personally would want to do that. Sometimes being on YouTube though, you rush through games more. I don't know. You guys down for a calm, slow-paced playthrough? But yeah, we've got the paint. That was in the previous video. We've got Russ, previous video. But there's also this plant, and we're going to see that a little bit later on with the flower on top. Kind of looks like an onion, but hey, it's sputtering. So like I say, this footage is good because it shows us some new stuff, but it jumps around and cuts things off really kind of a lot. Colin is saying we're pretty far from the SS Beagle, so seems like that's a good indicator that you probably should, of course, re-land the SS Beagle. That's your personal ship somewhere else. Maybe that's closer by, of course. There was this fiery blowhog. They don't even send any Pikmin at it. They just rush Ochi, and you can miss. But hey, no biggie. You'll probably notice, of course, the captain right here was, I presume the person customized it who was playing, which is pretty neat, but otherwise it's not Palm or Lisa, whatever, kind of our default captain that we've seen so far. And listen, let's not get it twisted. We've always known it can be customized. I'm just saying, finally we see it customized. Story here, this is, the main Pikmin 4 menu, and I'm gonna give it to Nintendo. I don't think that this is the final menu that we'll see, as in there's gonna be more options than this, but story, rescue shipwrecked castaways on an uncharted planet with the help of Pikmin in this epic adventure. Makes sense, of course, and then they have Dandori battle. But like I say, there are options down there you can click, but I have to believe maybe there's another mode or maybe another menu thing coming, and this is just the demo? But I want to point out something is probably somewhat insignificant, but this is new. You can see that the SS Beagle right here is orange, not red, right? And then everybody, we see all of the Rescue Corps members. We see our Explorer right here that we play as. They're all dressed in orange. So if you've been keeping track of Pikmin and all the footage, they've always been in red, right? Looks like you can probably change. I'm sure there's just certain colors available. Maybe not a lot, but yeah, that'll make all of the Rescue Corps members and your ship change color. So, my God. We come back to this fiery blowhog. They missed with Ochi, and then look at that. This, I'm telling you guys, everyone else is with me, right? That this is heartbreaking when you see Ochi just get hit at all. It destroys me, okay? So I tried to discuss how when Ice Pikmin freeze an enemy and then it gets destroyed while frozen, the carcass is not going to be retrievable, right? And I was saying, well, you can't bring the carcass back for materials, whether that's sparklium or raw materials. Notice, of course, defeating this fiery blowhog did drop a raw material gem right there, one of the ore, but I presume you also take the carcass back for sparklium. So here they're going to move the base to this location, and you should also notice it said new base unlocked, and then Colin said, and of course the Pikmin will come with it. So yeah, like Colin was likely saying, hey, you can move the onion here now, and the Pikmin will come with it, that are in the onion. Now, normally I had seen these have a name to them. I think that's closer to the SS Beagle, so we may not know the name. This may be Rugged Scaffold. There it is, yeah, Rugged Scaffold. So it may not always be, and I'm going to hold out the possibility that it could be both. Essentially, we may have to open up all of the landing spots, or maybe just some of them, like may actually need to be opened. What I mean by that is you don't just stumble upon it like already open for you to land. That one, they defeated the fiery blowhog, right? So notice right here, you can check your main missions. And again, this video jumps around, so that was likely not like pressing start or something. I don't know, maybe it could have been, but plus button. Now with the slow pace, and by the way, look at the orange outfits, but with the slower pace of Pikmin 4 that we keep emphasizing here, you can liken this somewhat to past Pikmin games. It's just that you're gonna have these like main missions and side missions. We've confirmed that, but it's essentially you could take probably as many days as you want to do all of these. Like rescue the rescue core, you've got that, and that's just going to be an overarching mission that's always there until you complete it. Rescue Olimar. Here, wait, let's first read this. Rescue the rescue core. It's got a pin in it, so that might mean that you can track it like on any radar, any minimap, but it says, you found Russ, the rescue corps' talented scientist. Keep searching for the rest of the rescue officers. So that was Colin Shepard actually talks about this one. It says, rescue Olimar. So Captain Olimar is shipwrecked on this unknown planet. Discover his whereabouts while you search for missing rescue corps officers. And then secure energy source. Shepard is going to be our guide here. It says, if we're going to restore the SS Shepard's radar and expand our search area, we need you to go out and gather more sparklium. So notice, of course, here, the SS Shepard is also orange. So again, I think you get to just pick your overall themed color. And if not, then wow, it's all the previous footage has had red and this one has orange. So take from that what you will. You can put a pin in any of the missions. You can also do a gameplay guide. The gameplay guide, I think, will be sort of like the coat pad before a Pikmin 3 mission. It kind of shows you the Pikmin types, the number of them, etc. So I'm just going to kind of slow down or pause this section right here. The house that we're largely seeing and we're playing at least in Sunspeckled Terrace, that's presumably the first area, of course, or at least our demo. But it's always interesting to see. I mean, they've got so much stuff, but look at this box. It says fragile, handle with care. Potentially some wine glass, like, I don't know, man. These people have a kid. They might have been imbibing. You can see in the distance, there's the opening to go downward to the depths of the caves. Has an orange flag. Like I said, we got orange. There's a strawberry up there. But these Pikmin are carrying the raw materials back to the ship, and it's just one by one. They're carrying it to the SS Beagle. And then we jump over to training. Again, this is like perfect for my ADHD brain. Actually, probably not perfect, but hey, learn Chomp. So we didn't get to read any of these other things with Nintendo's footage from the Direct. We just got to read Learn Buff. So right here, when it comes to sharpening your rescue pup's attack skill, the Chomp journey is a long one, but worth it. So that's what Shepard tells us about this. You get to see a little video play of whatever you're trying to upgrade, the ability. You can zoom in on that. Learn Rush Level 2. This skill shortens the energy charging time a little. It's easier for Ochi to strike critters that are moving around. So clearly, when we saw the Rush miss earlier, like Ochi may actually be able to hit something with a little bit more aim, even if your arrow is pointed kind of off, let's say. Now, with this video jumping around, you could miss like seriously a frame. And it's just got essentially our main crew. It's got the customizable explorer with Ochi, Shepard and Colin. They're both looking at Russ. Everyone's looking at Russ. So here we go. You've got a message log that you can pull up right here while they're talking. Again, we saw that in the previous analysis that I did. Please go watch that video. Like, this video does not render any of that useless, but Russ is explaining now. The SS Beagle now has the ability to transform any raw material collected in the field into all-purpose clay. So I'm not sure if you're going to need to find things to give it that upgrade, to be able to make stuff into clay, or is that just with time, just playing through, you get enough raw material, and then just because you have so much, like, hey, we can turn this into clay. So Russ says, one last thing, bring me raw material, and I'll be able to whip up exciting new gear and items for you in the lab. So again, I think this is jumping around. I don't think those two dialogues actually go hand in hand with each other, but this one does. I have no doubt they'll be useful to you while out in the field. So I think that's soon after we get introduced to Russ, and he says, don't forget, I need more raw materials. Again, I don't think this is all like in order exactly, and luckily COVID-19 loosening up, but hey, they got their helmets. Let's just look how close they're standing to each other. So here we are at the lab. I had only seen this in a journalist's text before this, but here's the survey drone, and again, you get to see a video accompany any of the items that you're getting, but Russ is saying of the survey drone, it's imperative to explore your surroundings from every vantage point. Use this drone to scout the area. So we've got 94 materials. This drone only costs 10. I don't know if that's a consumable, like it's gone after you use it once, but I presume you just get it once and then you have it. So yeah, look at that video, you know, the drone literally acts like a drone, like you can fly it anywhere in the level. And your day's timer will pause when you activate the drone. It's got a pause button. Scrummy Bone, ladies and gentlemen. That's the name of those bones. A favorite snack that completely re-energizes Ochi. Eating one when at full health leads to a hefty HP increase. So you can heal Ochi, but also you can even get more HP, I guess, even if you were full health. So yeah, Colin says you'll find all your items in there. So just pick the one you want to use. I think this is a tutorial that first comes up when you're wanting to open the pack. But yeah, you throw the bone and Ochi, well, give a dog a bone, eh? So you can send... It doesn't seem Ochi uses the nectar because you can see he walks right over it. Nothing happens. So this is crazy. This person must have just been experimenting with this. They had to know this was gonna hurt Ochi. How dare you? So yeah, Ochi gets zapped, you guys. That is terrible, man. Ochi got zapped. Yeah, thank you. Awful. Awful. My heart. So here, look at this. This appears to be day 2. Colin's like, wait, is it just me or did Ochi go through a growth spurt overnight? So yeah, one of the journalists talk about that, like, and we mentioned it in the last video. Ochi grows, maybe day by day for a while at least. I'm sure he hits like a maximum at some point. But there it is, the rush once again. The rush seems important, or at least, you know, it's going to cost more than, say, Chomp, the attack, or Buff, carrying strength. All of these are just to get to level 2, except heal. Look at that heal, and it says new on that. Learn heal level 1 is actually going to cost 3, but that's for level 1. And so you guys, my philosophy has always been, I don't want to gatekeep anybody from Pikmin and enjoying Pikmin. My experience is, though, I played Pikmin 3 and Pikmin Bloom. Unfortunately, I have not played the other games. Definitely try to do my research. Sometimes I'm going to make mistakes, but yes, these are pick carrots. Sometimes people have not always been kind to me, and you know, that's fine, I guess. Let's Ted Lasso this, though. But like, I'm just saying, again, please ask me any questions, you guys. Never feel afraid to like make a mistake or say something wrong. Like, I don't want to gatekeep anybody, but yeah, that was just an example of co-op right there. They were throwing the pebbles at nothing, and I presume you have an infinite amount of pebbles. Notice this, though, coming up right here. It looks like the ice Pikmin gonna be all over this Bulborb. They freeze it, and then notice we bash this icy frozen Bulborb with Ochi. It's not gonna take it out, but look, this could be good. I was wondering, you know, when the enemy is frozen, can they break out? They can, so we can confirm that, and the advantage here, again, people be like, wait, why? It's, again, to get the carcass. You actually want to drag that carcass back. Shepherd's like, Ochi, look out, because, yeah, you can definitely, Ochi can get attacked, man. We've been seeing it. So, yeah, raw materials fly out, and look at that. We can go ahead and take the carcass back to the SS Beagle. There's a pocket watch up there. I don't know how it got stuck to that wall, but, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see, actually, how to get that down a little later on. And no, it's not yellow Pikmin, although, hey, maybe that could work, but, hey, we're going to see. So, commands. We saw this in the previous video I uploaded. You can give your commands to Ochi. These are some of the commands right here. So pick up a scent. When you get stuck, ask Ochi to find things for you by selecting pick up a scent. Now that's interesting because I thought picking up a scent in general meant that you were going to go after castaways, after treasure, after anything. This seems to be something else entirely because when you see this, you can ask your pup to sniff out some treasure or some castaways, right? So you specifically give a command for castaways, for treasure. So what is he picking up a scent here for? Well, it could be the next kind of waypoint, the next way to advance further on in the level that you're doing. But here he's got the castaway bubble icon or whatever above his head. You saw that there was these little like blue puffs of smoke. That is the scent. We actually saw this unexplained in the Nintendo Direct, and I was wondering if that's like the helpful hints. You know, in Pikmin 3, I remember you could have like blue arrows that essentially pointed you to the task if you did the hint, right? I kind of thought it was that, but hey, maybe Ochi sort of serves that purpose, you could say, right? So So there we go. We'll call our squad. There's 19 right here and one Pikmin carrying one still. Some people were actually in the comments on the previous video uploaded saying, now can you actually have more than 20 of one type of Pikmin? First off, that would limit you to only 60 total if that was the case. We've confirmed actually in previous video, I think it was in the Direct, the June Direct, there was a scene down in the caves where they had 75 and I think they had like 30 ice Pikmin, so I'm pretty sure we can kind of like debunk that. And we did see more glow Pikmin, although glow Pikmin are sort of their own category, you know, in their own right. But okay, let's get back to this. I think we're kind of just replaying a few things that we saw earlier, right? Or no, this is making the callback. The video's just jumping around. I keep trying to, well, keep up with them. So there's this metal grate right there, or metal hinge. We're going to talk about that soon. This says demolish, so Ochi, you know, you can charge at it to do some of the damage and stuff, but yeah, you're trying to take down the dirt wall here. Ochi's charge kind of did a lot, but if you want to be really efficient, I would assume, you know, you throw your Pikmin first, then charge it. Now, here's how to get that pocket watch down. You guys may have heard it actually ticking if you can hear the audio, but again, I'll have the original video you could go back and watch with no commentary. There you go, Colin. Better terminology. Metal plate. The metal plate is raised. We can barely see the other side. And so they kind of zoom in right here. Again, I think that's because they can't show certain things. That's only what I would imagine, because that was a really inopportune time to zoom in otherwise. So you can see a few pellet posies here, and then there's this potted plant. And so this actually looks kind of extreme, man. We've got these. Maybe it's just because there's a small amount of Pikmin and Ochi, and he's probably got about 3 strength right there, I would presume. But yeah, it just seems like it takes a long time to get this potted plant's root out of there and everything. Now, it's also could be because we jump. So here we are back again, jumping around. You see Ochi being like, hey, come follow me to the castaway. And then look at this. We're back to the potted plant again. So here you go. It's so funny. We don't help out at all. You know, you would always think like the explorer would help out just a little bit, but nah, let's let them do it. Potted plant got dug up, and there's the options once again. We did kind of analyze this screen just a little bit. That was in the previous video. So there it is. Rewind time. We get to look at this yet again. I don't know that they actually jump in this footage. Yeah, so looks like they just go back. And so that Bulborb is asleep, as you guys know they do. So like I say, I think there was certain things that they could show and certain things they couldn't. And so before it cuts away, we just see Colin kind of upset looking, and he says this I think he's going to say something like this giant Bulborb, whatever he's going to say. But yeah, then this person inserted the ice Pikmin twirling around on their butt, and then we go right back to it. So whatever Colin was saying right there, it was so important we didn't get to hear it, right? And then look at that. So like I say, that's all footage just from previous Nintendo sources until it gets back to our regularly scheduled programming, right? And we destroyed that Bulborb right here, and the nectar came out of it. Presumably no raw material, so it does seem that maybe when you destroy them, they're not always going to yield a raw material. Maybe it's going to throw out nectar, you know? Maybe it's enemy by enemy, like case by case, right? So you can see our raw materials are actually going away one by one, because you can see the red Pikmin right now going out, and they are gathering bits of clay to make the bridges. So possibly all of the bridges in this game are just going to be that same kind of clay bridge color, that same clay bridge premise. And so for whatever reason, we jump back again to Nintendo's footage right here. I will skip through that. So they resume the footage right here. There's some hydro jelly that we're busting. We saw this in yesterday's upload that I did, and the castaway, and it of course weighs 3, so 3 strength can take it. So the hydro jelly gets frozen. You can charge it with Ochi after that. Boom! And so we see that our person here has named themselves Sam. So this says installing new apps, you know, status report. I'm not sure if you have to actually do like tasks to install a new app or whatever. It probably just comes with time. So like, okay, we get through this first part and then we get to this next part, right? And so like it'll just install the different apps as we kind of need it, probably automatically, I would assume. And so this is your tablet menu. So I'm pretty sure that this is just when you press the plus button. You know, we see that a lot in the footage. Plus opens up the tablet, right? Now they hone in on the rescue map right here. So that's good. That's going to be useful. You know, you've got a map. What I think is sort of interesting is that it looks like by the beagle, you know, you've got the little, typically these kind of blinking like greenish dots or whatever. That was oftentimes an enemy. Like, at least, again, my experience is Pikmin 3, like, that's what that looks like. So it's almost like it's showing all the enemies we've collected here on the map, like in one spot. But you know something? I'm going to backtrack just a little bit here on the tablet menu once again. We saw the missions earlier, but maybe we can pause at status report. So the status report is going to show you, it's looking like we've got like numbers on the Pikmin, right? And so this may be further confirmation, although they are, I guess they're not seen out in the squad, but like it says 30 total red Pikmin. We got 17 new ones in this day, and then you have 10 ice, of course, for a total of 40 right here. 27 are total new ones. Sun-speckled terrace, you can see that some of the text is like blurry, but we can tell what these are. So the first one is going to be rescues. That's 2 out of 2. We've done 2 rescues. Sparklium, we got 300 out of 501, and then I presume that says raw material, so that's raw material collected, and they haven't done any, but it says 9%. That's our progress right now. So about 9% is those numbers, I guess you could say. Notice, of course, in the top right, back on the radar map, it says Last Frost Cavern, sub-level 1. It says 75%, so I guess you do have kind of, at least maybe in the caves, the sub-levels of the caves, maybe you have like a percentage, how much you've done. So Colin, we've seen that before. He's in his orange, though. That's, I'm making that much more significant, right? But here it is. Notice that even the ID badge, that's going to have an orange stripe there at the top instead of red. So we read that in yesterday's upload. Found the scientist. We know that that's one of the missions right here. And it looks like beyond Shepard and Colin and Ochi, Russ will be kind of that first reveal. Is everybody still holding out hope that that's Alf over there on the far end? I don't know, man. So there they jump down the hole. Again, this is all out of order. So this you should put at the beginning of what we were just looking at, but the Last Frost Cavern, that's presumably where you're going to get Russ and all the stuff that we just saw. You can see that there's tips. Most games kind of have this nowadays, especially on Switch. You know, they love to do that in the bottom where it scrolls. So while it's loading, you can see it says the art of Dandori. Dandori is the art of organizing your tasks strategically and working efficiently to execute your plans. Try to practice it in everyday life. You can't tell me what to do. You can't make me be organized, okay, Pikmin? I am the definition of unorganized, you guys. So there was like a really fast cut in this clip, but here we go. Then we come back to it. Again, I have no clue what this, like a cut like that, I feel like that's not even trying to avoid NDA or something, or embargo. Maybe it is. Colin says, does it look like it's sputtering? Much better wordage than huffing and puffing. Colin is always, he's going to be helping me like he's a dictionary. He's a walking thesaurus for me. It looks pretty pale for an onion. What do you think? Should we take it with us? Of course we should take it with us, and we do, because we saw that in the progress earlier. Take down some little tiny enemies right here. And then would you look at that? The compass that we saw in yesterday's upload, it is up there, and some jars to bust through with Ochi. And this person, I thought they were going to try to attempt to charge and jump over this gap. I'm assuming it's going to block you, you know, like an invisible wall, just block you from that. It needs 22 raw materials left. You can see that there's some in the water. And of course, if it was any question, your player 2, if they're throwing those little pellets, you can actually take them down with the pellet posies. You can take down the actual pellet. I meant to say pebble. Did I say throwing pellets? Yeah, too many pellet, pebble, whatever. Do you feel me, you guys? Give a dog a bone right there, and then we're back once again to the menu, and this maybe has a reason, because look, we get to select Dandori Battle. Put your planning skills to work and manage the clock in this fierce competition that can be enjoyed solo or with 2 players. And so here we do get confirmation of the options. I think that was pretty much confirmed in the direct, but this does only seem to be on a single system. Player 1 versus the CPU, player 1 versus player 2, player 1 and player 2 versus CPU. I'd be interested in that last option. Is it again just like the little cursor throwing pebbles? I don't think so. I think you actually get like, you know, explorer here, explorer there, and then the explorer on the other side, that's the CPU. But look at this, player 1 Dandori Battle controls. I don't see proof that you can change these right here, but remember in the options otherwise, it did seem like you could change them, or maybe that was just to check them. So there we go, player 1, player 2. Looks like P2 gets to be Olimar in this case. We don't know if maybe you get to pick a character. You can have Louie or something. But yeah, Trial Run, that's actually the name of the stage. With its compact size, this stage is perfect for some quick and easy Dandori battles. Expect to go toe-to-toe with your opponent, so probably going to be like somewhat simple, you know, mostly just a square with maybe a few jut outs, but definitely smaller setting means that we probably are going to have to get kind of up close and personal with whoever you're playing up against. And so they select the stage, Trial Run, start battle, player settings, battle settings, difficulty. Those are all the things I guess you can check out right here. I don't believe our person navigating this does actually check it out. They just start battle. Notice you can actually set, I guess, maybe in the battle settings, charging horn on on. So the actual ability to charge, that can be turned on and off. Kind of hilarious to me. I don't know. Evil Ochi looking, man, it looks huge, dude. Does Evil Ochi have an advantage here? But of course, Bizarro Ochi is like a Pikmin. It's got less sprout on it, so I don't know if that's of any significance. Maybe we'll find out soon, though. Bonus finds. Right there in the middle, you can see there are probably, I guess in this case, Strawberry, of course. It's going to ×2 the points. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Dandori, we haven't quite dived deep on it on this channel. I always wanted to. It's just there keeps being new information, new footage to show, and I've also got another YouTube channel and a job and a wife and a kid. So you see right here, what's interesting about the orange, I don't know if this is going to be a good strategy. You could probably be picked off easy, but I was thinking, like, do you just leave one Pikmin to, like, try to dig through that orange while you go and do other things? Or would that one Pikmin then get just completely stomped? I don't know. Can the players stomp each other's Pikmin? That's the question. Because you can, I think, hurt the other person's Ochi, and look at this. You actually have a lightning bolt. Everybody gets zapped on the opposing team, of course. Now, the bonus finds also now shows one of the little Bulborb icons. Journalists, the media actually said with my upload yesterday, they did talk about, I think, that you have to leave bombs, like, underneath the other person's ship. So there you go, man. Like, there's dropping out the bomb, and then boom. Because then when you blow up the other person's onion, you can get some of the items out of it. So I think, you know, you got to be careful. Someone could be back there trying to sabotage you. Dandori's gonna get crazy. Like, if you're actually against a real person, that's why they should have had this online, dude. Can you imagine how intense that would be? But you guys, please click an end screen on screen to see something else, because that's where the footage ends. I'll be covering everything that I can. So I'll catch you over there, and thanks for viewing.